Start with
Okay,
Metallica. How did you get involved in the Metallica video, and how did all that come up?
the Metallica video, uh, I guess Lars is a fan of mine,
Right.
and that's what my agent said. And they offered me the role in Turn the Page, and I love Bob Seger. I grew up with Bob
Right,
Seger.
right.
Turn the Page is a Bob Seger song, and I was transitioning still. I mean, I was out of porn for a while, but I really wanted to be respected as an actor, and I didn't want to be a bimbo dancing in front of or in the background with the band. And
Right.
I didn't know what they were going to do with the video. So I turned it down for 3 months. I was on the road. I was in Waco, Texas. I had my bodyguard, my nanny, my son, my assistant, and me. I'm wearing overalls, no makeup, and a ponytail. The front desk says, "It's your agent on the phone. Can you take the call?" It was right when we were going to the airport.
Right.
And as my theatrical agent, of course I will take the phone call. So I took it, and he said, "Listen, you just meet with the director for the video." And I'm like, "All right, I'm flying in. I have all of these people with me. I'm not putting on a stitch of makeup. I'm not going to
Right.
pretend to do anything. I will go and I will meet him, and that I'll we'll put it to bed." And we met at the Chateau Marmont. Jonas Ackerland was the director of Turn the Page. Uh, I give him credit along with Rob Zombie for helping my career to go where it's gone today. I wouldn't be here without them. So I'm grateful to Jonas and to Rob Zombie. But I met with Jonas, and he was telling me a story. He said before all he wanted to do growing up was produce music videos. And people don't go, "Oh, here, you can produce and write this music video. You have to earn
Right.
it. You have to work for it."
Right.
And so what he would do in the meantime to survive was put on uh, Cirque du Soleil type shows, circuses
Right.
in Europe. And he said, and I kept working on doing music videos, doing here and doing this and doing that, making my money over there. But all I wanted to do was be here. And I finally had enough experience and knowledge under my
Right.
belt that I was able to turn that page. I said, "You have turned that page." All of the talking head segments, people think that girl was really my daughter. Well, I had women, families going fucking apeshit because in the video, my dialogue is if I had to live my life over again, I would make the exact same choices. And I teared up during it. I was really emotional. Jonas put my emotions into words. I never have met any of the band. Um, I shot for a week to do the background, to do
Right.
my role. And if you've seen the video, Turn the Page, you know that it's like a mini story, a mini movie
Right.
within a music video. And then Jonas also made it into a 15-minute short film. So I'm so proud of that. I remember we had an MTV, what do you call it?
Premiere or whatever.
MTV premiere. Here's
Right.
it's going to air at this time. And I had about 30 people over at my house. My grandma was there. She was living with me. And after we were watching, my son was about 3 years old. And in the American version, there's a lot more violence than there is in the European version. And when the guy threw me on the bed, my son went up and he's banging on the TV, and he's like 3 or 4 having a fit. And I'm like, "No, honey, it's not real." And anyway, I don't want to get into that.
Right.
But my dad called me, and my dad.
Mm.
Everybody that's known me for years. My dad was around forever, and my dad called me up and he said, "Ginge," and he's the only person that gets to call me that. He said, "You are a really good actress. I am proud of you," and that just made me melt. That made me melt. It's one of my prized and cherished opportunities.
That is like Metallica's most popular video. Were you surprised by the impact it had?
I was very surprised, and um, I was also really pleased with what they did with it. They didn't bastardize it like I thought they were going to do. They kept the feeling that Bob Seger emoted. Every opportunity that I've been given, and if it weren't for people like Jonas and Metallica and Corpsey, and A&P Productions. There's just so many people that treat me with respect, and it just means a lot to me. I'm humbled sometimes.
How long after the video had you met the band? I'm sure you met them at some point
I've
now.
never met the band.
Really?
No, no. I live in Vegas. Every time they're here, one of their guys calls me. I always go to the concert. Still haven't met any of them.
Wow.
Isn't that bizarre? I mean, I would love to, but it just hasn't happened. And I've seen him play probably 3 or 4 times, and I've never met any of them.